Hello, this is Linda Mead, and I'm going to take you on a little tour of the Reports tab in the One Needs Assessment. So to get there, we of course need to go to the One Needs Assessment through your SAFE account. And for SST folks, who this is aimed at, right here as you first come in, you will see a breakdown of all of our districts. So 15 districts or buildings have yet to start their One Needs Assessment. I mean, they've got plenty of time. It's not due till the end of May. 48 have started, which means they've opened it. 16 are in progress, which means they've actually put something in a box. And 5 have completed it. That's impressive. Okay, so this isn't where we need to be. That's an overview. We've always had that overview. If we click over here to One Needs Assessment, and here we are in the full tool, and up here on the top now, it says Reports. So we can go to Needs Assessment Analysis right there, and you get this little bar graph. It is a tiny bit slow. Have a snack next to you. Take your time. This gives us all of our districts and buildings for Region 14. You can look at this year's, 2022. You can toggle back to last year's. I would just caution you, make sure you know which year you're in. I'm also going to point out that if any time in this process you end up in a place and you can't figure out where you are because of all the filters, hitting Reset Filters clears everything and brings you right back here. So if we're going to look at all of our districts, you're over here on the left. We're going to go to Select All, and that will give us the stats for all of our districts. So 53 have started, 15 have not, 14 are in progress, and this says 2 are completed, and our other one said 5 were completed. And I have no idea why that is, but there you go. So if I'm going to look at just a district, so I'm going to pick Adams County because it's the first one here. And I'm going to look at Adams County because this is what we would help a district to do. So they can look at and immediately see that 5 of theirs are in progress, 1 is completed, and 1 is started. So of the 7 buildings there, or the 6 buildings, and the district, that's where everybody is. So if this is my district, I might go, who's completed it already? Or who's started it but hasn't put anything in? That's something you can do here. If you look down here at the bottom, and it's a little hard to see, these are our overall stats. But if we click here to Root Causes and Priority Needs, now I'll warn you, when you do that, when you change tabs, it takes you back to every single building and district. So we can see of those who have completed something in root cause or priority tabs, priority needs. These are some of the root cause statements that districts and buildings have already put into the tool. Right there. So if you just want to go, I wonder what kind of root causes we've got, you can do it here. I'm going to do it by district. Lynchburg has a couple. So under organizations, we'll go to Lynchburg. There it is. Lynchburg Clay Local. And you can see these are the root causes that have been put in by Lynchburg Clay. You can do it by building and district, whichever works. This is a nice thing for districts to have access to if they want to check through things quickly. We can also find out if the root cause is required. If you put no, then it will give you all those questions where they didn't have to do a root cause. So we're just going to go with our yeses. Root cause answered. We've got that. Is it a priority need? I'm going to check yes. And so far we only have one entity that has put in a priority need, and that is Lynchburg Clay Local School Climate and Supports. They have not yet sent it to the planning tool, but that is their root cause. Everything's right there. And if it's sent to planning, it can tell you that also. I'm going to reset our filters and take us back to the beginning. Maybe I just want to look at improvement areas. Maybe I'm going to look at Oh, school climate and supports. That's a popular one. So we're going to click that. And that will tell you all of the root causes we have so far in our region in school climate and supports. So that's something maybe the PBIS group would want to look into. Next, we have improvement areas and question groups. And I'm going to reset my filters again. So you can see questions by group. There's a little tiny green bar here on the side that tells you what's completed, and the rest of it is a big gray bar that says they're not. In engagement, there are 1.2, that can't be thousands. 1.2, okay. Anyway, that's a lot of questions. In engagement for our whole region, and that tells you how many of them have been answered, which is 40 have been answered. 1,202 are the total number of questions. Down here, you've also got the total questions and how many are completed. If, just for grins, you would like to know how many total questions have the mandatory flag that's just required, that'll give you that one also. And if we want to know total questions, okay, they're the same. I don't know why that is. This is my first time really digging around in the tool, so there you go. You can also just select by organizations. Buildings or districts might want to do this if there's one building and they're thinking, oh, I need to know what that building has done, rather than go clawing through everything in their one needs assessment. Question details is kind of fun, and I found this because I was trying to figure out what questions needed to be answered. Who had how many questions? And if we go to questions that are required, which would make sense, you can see Adams County, Ohio Valley Local, under College and Career Readiness, has to answer question 10, question 11, question 19. This tells you every question every building or district needs to answer. I found this interesting and helpful when I was putting together a spreadsheet for a district, and that was actually East Clinton, so I'll check East Clinton. And I was trying to make sure I had shaded in all the things they needed to answer. And after I had laboriously gone through every single page, lo and behold, I found this. So this will show you these are the questions that need to be answered. So of the 5 organizations in East Clinton Local, they have 137 total questions. If in East Clinton I just want the district, East Clinton Local, they have 62 questions. This is a nice way for you to look at districts or buildings and say, I know this is a lot, but East Clinton Junior High, you have 6 questions. So there's really not a good reason for you not to be looking at this at some point. Let's see what else. Improvement areas. Again, if you're just looking at improvement areas, maybe you are working on community and family engagement with East Clinton. There we can see they have no required questions in that area. Content areas, language, arts, and math. Oh, here's what I did. I didn't get rid of just the middle school. So going back and having everyone, and now let's look at improvement areas of community family engagement. There's what they have to answer. So they have a few, not a ton. And there are more at the elementary and the district level, none at middle school, high school. I'm going to clear this one out again or hit select all. Question groups. This is each of these improvement areas and then the question groups. So these are the aforementioned buckets, named buckets. They're not buckets anymore. And these are the question groups under those, because under content, there's language, arts, and math, and post-secondary, and all kinds of things. So we can just check 1 or 2 of those. I'm going to check assessment, and fair warning, my cat has joined the recording. It doesn't know it's not on camera. The cat's kind of a ham. So for assessments, the district level has 4 questions for assessments. That's it. None of the buildings have anything for assessments. So I'm going back to select all for that. And then I'm going to pick question status of not started. So how many questions are not started? 137 questions in the district are not started. So I like this. It's a nice way, especially to look at root causes. If you serve 3 districts, you might just pull up your 3 districts. I thought there was a way to print from this, but I'm not sure what that is. It also is a nice way if you're working with building leaders to pull up all of their root causes or all of their questions. Help them to see all the things they need to answer. So I'm going to look at Wilmington because I believe they have the most questions of any of us, any of our districts, and you will see where they are. And you're like, whoa, 0% completed. I know for a fact Wilmington has started. They didn't start by putting answers right in this document. That's something else you need to be aware of. Is their work being done in a Google Doc or in a giant spiral-bound notebook or wherever they're keeping that information? But you can see Wilmington, all of their buildings together has 217 questions. Compare that to Manchester. Unclick Wilmington. That has 169 questions. It's a bit of a difference. Sometimes it's just nice to click through and see what our districts have and how different they are. Blanchester has 69 questions to answer, and they're already 2.9% complete. As someone who spent a fair amount of time last year scrolling through all those pages and screens, I'm finding this helpful. Big things to remember: reset filters when all else fails and you can't figure out how you ended up down the rabbit hole you're in. And your root cause and priority needs tab. I think that would be nice, even if you just took some root causes from here and took away district identifiable information, and maybe some colleagues can sit around and think, are these our best root, like how can we help districts with these root causes? Or is this one we want to share with others and say, this is a good example? And of course, clear back to the beginning with our overall stats of where everyone is. So that is the Reports tab on the One Needs assessment. And if you've got any questions, you know where I am, so feel free to ask. Thank you. I can't stop recording until I remember how. Well, isn't that fun?